The video you are about to see did not go as planned. I intended to read some of Kayla's from Booksandlala's favorite thrillers of all time, and it didn't go as planned because I DNF'd every single one of them. Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. I'm popping on super casually to tell you about my next reading project. This time I have decided to read 5 thrillers that are on Booksandlala's favorite thrillers of all time video. I'm sure she has more thrillers since she made that video, but she made a list of 30 thrillers that were her all-time favorites at the time, and I went through that list, marked off the ones I read, circled all of the rest, and I came up with quite a list. I could actually make a part 2 of this if you're interested in that. So I searched Book Outlet because I know she is a Book Outlet like vlogger friend, so I thought that would add an extra cool element to it. Also, I was not planning on this, but I got all of these books from Book Outlet Canada instead of like the US store, so that adds another cool element to this story. So over the next couple days, weeks, months, I'm going to be reading 5 books that I haven't read off of her all-time favorite thriller list, and I just thought I would sit down and show you the books, and then as I read them, I may update you as I'm reading them, but I'm definitely going to talk to you at the end of each book, kind of how I did in the Gabby Reads Project video that I did, where I just tell you my thoughts and see if they become some of my new favorites. But like I said, I chose 5 books for this project. I think that's manageable, and if you want me to do a part 2, just let me know, but this is going to be the Booksandlala project. So the first book is Where They Found Her by Kimberly McCreight, and I have already started reading this one. I just picked it up last night. I haven't gotten very far at all. Let's find out where I am. Oh, I read like the first chapter, so I've read like 20 pages. But what I thought was interesting about this is I picked it up on audiobook, and there was actually like a what's it called? A prologue. And then there was like this other like transcript thing that is not in this book. So here I am sitting on the very first chapter, which starts off with Molly, and I'm like, the sky through our large bay window was just beginning to brighten when I opened my eyes. And the book starts off on the audiobook in a completely different place. So it has, like I said, a prologue, and then there's like this transcript thing, and then this starts. And I really think the information in the part that I listened to like gives you some background knowledge of like what you're going to be jumping into. And the transcript really ends off on a very interesting like line, and it really makes you jump into this book like asking the same question yourself. So I wonder why it's not in the book. The second one I'm going to pick up is the Jilly McMillan book, I Know You Know. Next up is going to be An Unwanted Guest by Sherry Lapena. Then I have The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter. And finally, I'm going to read Emma and the Night by Wendy Walker. So all of these books are thriller novels. Like I said, they were on her favorite thrillers of all time list. And yeah, I'm just really excited to jump in, and hopefully I can find a new favorite in this bunch. Hi friends, I look like I feel. I'm exhausted. I went to the gym today, and then I had my chiropractor appointment, and now I'm home. So work, gym, chiropractor, home, and I'm exhausted. But what I'm here to really talk to you about is Where They Found Her by Kimberly McCreight. And I have been reading this as part of the Booksandlala project I'm doing, where I read 5 of Booksandlala's favorite mystery thrillers. I think she just said thrillers. And I started this before Buzzwordathon, and now I'm jumping back into it, and I've slowly been reading a little bit. I've just been so exhausted lately. Yeah, so I haven't really been enjoying this. It's basically about this baby that's found in the woods, and the baby is dead, and they're trying to find out whose baby is it? Why was it left here abandoned in the woods? And so forth. It's told from multiple perspectives. I can't really keep them straight. Some of them have suffered from miscarriages and other things, and I can't keep any of it straight. For example, I had my bookmark from last night here on page 146, and while I was at the gym, I listened to the audiobook and got to page 191. So I listened to 50 pages while I was at the gym, and I have no idea what I listened to, and I don't care to go back and read it. I'm really not interested, and I think I'm just going to set it aside and give up on this one because I'm really not in the mood. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm like, so if I just kept going and just like pushed myself to listen to the audiobook, whatever, I could probably finish it easily, but I just don't care enough to waste any more time on this. So I could see where someone might like this and enjoy this, but to be a favorite, I wanted to say that I know we didn't start off strong with our Booksandlala TBR, but I'm hoping to jump back into it. So where they found her, I honestly have decided that I just really don't care, because I was reading this, I was totally bored, I picked up something else, and I flew through it, you guys. So it's not that I'm in a reading slump, it's just that I wasn't enjoying this. So I do have my bookmark just in case I want to give it a try like towards the end of this. So I still have 4 books. I still have The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter, Emma and the Night by Wendy Walker, I Know You Know by Jilly McMillan, and An Unwanted Guest by Sherry LaPena. LaPena, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I think I'm going to go for The Good Daughter next. I've read one other book by Karen Slaughter. I know she writes series and standalones. I'm only interested in her standalones, so I'm going to give this one a try. It's going to be my next attempt. It's fairly long. It's over 400 pages. It's over 500 pages. So I'm a little worried, but I'm going to jump in. I'm going to cross my fingers. I'm going to pray to the reading gods, and we'll see what happens. Hello, friends. Welcome to the shit show that is 2020. This is an unprecedented time in our lives that I'm sure we'll never forget. But the show must go on. And although I have not touched this project in a very long time, probably 5 to 6 months, it's time to dip our toes back in, so to speak, into the reading Booksandlala's, Kayla's favorite thrillers. Today, I'm going to start The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter. This is, of course, one of her more well-known books. I read Pretty Girls, and that's the only Slaughter book I have read so far. So I'm hoping to tackle this one next. I just finished reading another thriller that I really enjoyed, and it was 409 pages. And this one is 509 pages. So 100 pages longer. I think I can do it though. And I remember really liking Pretty Girls and it going like fairly quickly. I don't remember it dragging. I don't want to tell you too much what this is about. But the praise on the back is pretty amazing. Karen Slaughter's most ambitious, most emotional, and best novel so far anyway. Raw, powerful, utterly gripping, yet written with a tenderness and empathy that will break your heart. And yeah, so it seems like high praise from other well-known authors. And Jillian Flynn says, I'd follow her anywhere. Hi friends, I have an update for you. So I was currently reading The Good Daughter by Karen Slaughter. Previously, I tried Where They Found Her by Kimberly McCreight, and I got about, where did I get? About here with this one, and I got about here with this one. So I started this not yesterday but the day before, and I read, I think it was like 54, 56 pages, like 50-ish pages, and then yesterday I read 30 pages, and then I read an additional however many pages up until page 118 on the Read with Friends live show. And I did say in that live show that I'm not really loving this, so I didn't read the full synopsis going in because I feel like in thrillers that spoils you a lot. But the part that I did read is about the sisters, that the two girls are forced into the woods at gunpoint. One runs for her life, one is left behind. And I thought that was going to be the story. However, I'm going to read the second part of the synopsis for you. 28 years later, Charlie has followed in her father's footsteps to become a lawyer herself, the ideal good daughter. So that right there tells you who made it out of the woods and who got left behind. But when violence comes to Pikeville again, so you know that there's going to be a tragedy in the beginning, and then there's going to be another tragedy. And as shocking tragedy leaves the whole town traumatized, Charlie is plunged into a nightmare. So you know not only is there going to be two tragedies, but that Charlie is going to be involved in both. Not only is she the first witness on the scene, but it's a case that unleashes the terrible memories she spent so long trying to suppress. Because the shocking truth about the crime that destroyed her family nearly 30 years ago won't stay buried forever. Packed with twists and turns, brimming with emotion and heart, The Good Daughter is fiction at its most thrilling. So, last night, like I said, I went from probably yesterday, I was like the 50-ish page mark, and I went to like 118, and I'm not loving it, you guys. I don't know if it was I wasn't in the right headspace or I'm not in the right headspace for this, but like I've put this down and I haven't even thought twice about it, and I have the same feeling that I'm gonna get with this. So far in this project, out of 5 books, I have DNF'd the first 2. So I almost just want to like abandon the entire project, but I'm gonna forge ahead. The remaining 3 books I have in this project video to read some of Kayla's favorite thrillers of all time. I have I Know You Know by Gilly McMillan, which I have read, where is it? What She Knew by Gilly McMillan, same author. And I didn't love this. I think I rated it 3 out of 5 stars. And this premise actually kind of reminds me of this one, but anyway, so I have this one left. I also have Emma in the Night, which one of my friends recently read and they really enjoyed. So I'm kind of interested in this one. And then the last one that is on this TBR is An Unwanted Guest, which I think would be a really good read because I've liked Sherry Lapina in the past. I think I've liked one of her books, and other book was like okay. So I'm really excited about these. Probably Emma in the Night more, and then this one second, and then this one would be like in 3rd place if I'm gonna rank them from the most I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to this one the next, and then this one the next. So these are the 3 books that I have left in this challenge. I don't know if I'm going to immediately jump into one of these or what's going to happen, but I will update you guys. I did just want to update you officially that I am DNFing The Good Daughter. Hello friends, it is a little bit later in the evening. It is May 8th, so it's Friday night. and I really need to figure out what I'm in the mood to read. I'm in such a weird place reading books right now, but I just got off of the live show on Gabby's channel, the thriller live show, where we talked about our favorite thrillers of all time, good thrillers we've read this year. I got some really good recommendations I added to my wish list. I'm still on a book buying ban though, right now for this month, and then next month I think I'm gonna go crazy. But I do have these 3 thrillers to try. I thought I could, I don't know, read the first chapter and see what I think. First one I'm gonna try is Emma and the Night by Wendy Walker. I've never read anything by this author before, and I'm kind of a little scared because someone on the live show said that they didn't really like this, but I know that Kayla really likes this, although I'm finding out that our tastes are so vastly different, so I don't know if I should just DNF it ahead of time. Like, I don't know. So we're going to try this one, and we're gonna hope that I love it. Okay, it's 12 pages, so it's not too bad. So I'll do that one, and then I'm going to do An Unwanted Guest, which I think I should read like during the winter time, but I do like Sherry Lapina. Like, I haven't ever found a book of hers that I've like absolutely loved, but maybe this would be the one. And then, okay, so that one is only 7 pages, the first chapter. And then the last one that I'll do a try chapter for is I Know You Know by Jilly McMillan. And this is, that's the first chapter, and then it has like the podcast, and then it looks like it goes into the second chapter. Man, I really want to get the audiobook of this now because of the podcast elements, because when I read Sadie, which is a YA novel, but it had podcast elements in it, and I really liked listening to it because it sounded like a podcast in the podcast elements. I wonder. Okay, so I just finished the first chapter of Emma and the Night, and it didn't like immediately pull me in. It sounds like it will be a good story, but the first chapter was really setting up the relationship between a mother and her 2 daughters, Emma and whoever the narrator is. I don't think it said Cass. Yeah, Cassandra. So Cass and Emma disappeared, I guess, how long ago? 3 years ago. And now it looks like Cass, like right at the end of the first chapter, she's poised to go to the mother and say, here I am, I'm alive. But she never really got along with her mother. It was more like Emma and the mom got along, and I guess she's coming back so that they can, the one daughter is coming back so that they can like launch an investigation or find out what happened to Emma. So I don't know, the first chapter was a lot of setup. Okay, so I don't know. The next one I think I'm gonna try is An Unwanted Guest. Okay, I just finished the first chapter of An Unwanted Guest, and this nothing much happened. I guess there are several people on their way to this remote inn, and the one character is Gwendolyn. Right here it says that. So yeah, Gwendolyn is one of the characters, and she's driving up with Riley, and then there is David Polly, yeah, David, and then there's Ian and Lauren, and Ian and Lauren, they're driving. So it started with Gwen and Riley, then David, then Ian and Lauren, and they're almost there, but they see a car in the ditch, and so they stop, and it was Gwen and Riley. So they say, oh, they're all headed to the same place. They'll pick them up, they'll go to the inn, and then they can call like a tow from there. So that's all that really happened. But it seems like something is going on with Riley. I think she was in the military, but she just seems really shaken up for some reason. So not much going on with that one. And the last one we have to try is I Know You Know. Okay, y'all, I don't know what is going on. I tried reading the first chapter of this. I read, like, I'll show you. I read this page, and I read these pages, and I read this little bit, but then it gets to this italicized part. And okay, so what happens in the non-italicized part, the part that I actually read, is I guess there's some detectives or some cops that are going to this pit. I guess there's this superstore that's getting expanded on, so they're like ripping everything out, and they found some bones, so they're gonna dig up the bones to find out, you know, what these bones belong to. Is it some historical thing? Is it some body or whatever? That's really it. That's all that those pages that I read talked about. But then on the 4th page, right before it turns italicized, one of the people says, like, he turns to catch Danny's reaction. And then it says, but Danny's puking a few feet away, which you're like, okay, that could be it. Bent double right behind the stand. The tips of long grasses obscure his head and tickle his ears. The heat intensifies the smell of his vomit. He's alive. So I'm just like, what is this talking about? This is like a flashback to something from the past. And I'm just not in the mood. The writing, I'm just not vibing with this. So sadly, none of these have sparked my interest. None of them have sparked my interest. I DNF'd this one and I DNF'd this one, so I think we're just gonna call this a flop. I think that I have proven that different readers love different things, and I think Kayla has valid points for loving all of these and them being her favorites, but they're just not my favorites. Yeah, I can't even get into these. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this project because I started it last year in 2019 and I just don't see myself ever gravitating towards any of these anytime in the near future. So even though this was a flop, I want to put it out there into the world to show you that what one person loves, another person may absolutely not love, and that was the case in these thrillers. But if you think that I should like give any of these a second go, let me know, like, but try to convince me, like make a convincing argument, because right now I am just not feeling any of them, but I'm gonna hang on to them for a while. I mean, I can't unhaul books right now anyway with everything that's going on. Nowhere is open for me to donate them to. I would love to take them to the book exchange, but that's not open right now. So I'm just gonna hang on to them for a while and put them to the side. But that wraps up this video. Sorry it wasn't more exciting. Sorry I couldn't recommend any of these, but if you have any comments about any of them, like leave it down below, and that way other readers can like find something that you say about a book and maybe pick it up if it's for them. But I hope you guys are having a lovely day or night, and I'll see you guys again soon in another video. Bye!